Hey, this is George.
And this is Nick.
And we are with C Creative Video Production, and today we're just going to be going over a video that we did recently, and we're going to kind of break it down, discuss some of the shots in it. The intention behind this video is to show at our local Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. This is an event where 500 to 600 business owners and people that make decisions within business in the community come together. They watch these videos, they get kind of a state of the year on where the chamber is, and the goal is to be fun, funny, but also informative. So this year we did a Back to the Future spoof. Definitely go and check that out. It is live on our YouTube channel, and we're just gonna break down some of how we did it.
They came to us and they said they wanted a history of the chamber, and my first thought was Back to the Future.
History,
but
yeah.
Of course, that's very complicated to make. So we had to make Tuscaloosa look old, look different like it is in the movies. So that's what we had to do, and let's break down how we did it.
All right, let's start.
We're gonna literally break down the first frame probably.
And pulse. So, in this shot, we had some things that we had to remove. So this building is currently the Chamber of Commerce building. However, there is some text up here, and the Chamber of Commerce logo is right here in the actual video. And so we had to remove that to kind of take this back to Regions Bank. And so that's what we did here.
And all good videos have a conflict and a resolution. So even though it's very dumb what the conflict ends up being, the biggest problem is this building that is supposed to be the present day headquarters is Regions Bank the way it used to be, and something has happened in the past that we'll get to later that caused,
and we have to fix it. Yeah, so in this frame we very easily removed some text right here in Photoshop, and then I went in and used generative fill and removed the Chamber of Commerce logo, and then we took a PNG of the Regions Bank logo, did a little bit of distortion, some blend mode stuff, and just kind of made it look like the shot is there. So this shot is on a tripod, it's static, so it was really easy to do. This took, a couple seconds.
Compared to some of the other stuff.
Compared to some of the other stuff, yeah. So let's get it.
Keep going. So he doesn't walk by it, so we don't have to roto it.
There's our conflict. We're automatically showing, like, what in the world happened. So
he's looking around, trying to figure out what's going on.
Now this, hey, actually, go back a little bit. You can use 2 fingers or frames, yeah. So this shot right here was a lot of fun. We actually have it behind the scenes. Hopefully we can throw it in there. Where I was in a cart and I was just holding the camera handheld. I wanted it to be floaty, but I wanted it to be handheld, and walking backward was a little too shaky. So just standing inside of that cart and getting Dawson, one of our crew members, to pull me back as I'm filming gave it that sort of disorienting, floaty look without being too smooth. All right, go ahead.
So then the next shot is pretty interesting.
Hey, welcome to...
So we have the 2 Regions Bank. These people used to work for Regions Bank, or still do, but used to work in this building, so it's like a little bit of a throwback. And you can see in this shot, George had to do it again with the Regions logo on the window, but this time it's behind him, so...
Yeah, so this was fun. So I took the same logo. In this one, I did have to track it. So because this is transparent glass, I had to actually use 4-corner tracking using M-Tracker Surface for Motion VFX. That's in Final Cut Pro. And I had to track the edge of this door so that we could get that perspective, because obviously you can't track transparent glass. I had to remove the logo on the other side,
because there was a logo, yeah.
Ooh, that one was challenging. And then I had to obviously invert this logo on the other side of him, add a blur so that it looks like it's on the other side of glass, and then we had to rotoscope him out so that he could be in front of the logo. So this shot actually took a bit of time.
And even though it's only 3 seconds long, it feels like it's up there forever. So it was like really important that it looked right.
Huh?
Okay. So then he's entering the bank. He's confused. We have him run in front of somebody to be funny.
Hello, welcome to Regions Bank. How may I help you?
Regions Bank? This hasn't been a bank in years. This is the chamber headquarters.
So we've introduced our conflict early on in the video.
This can't be right. I've got to get out of here.
All right, and so here we go. So what second frame, what time frame are we at?
This is at 30 seconds.
We're at 30 seconds. So within 30 seconds, we have established our conflict, and we're starting to set up the where the story is going, and that is hilariously with this man. I'm gonna let you tell everybody who
Carl
this is.
Jameson. He works with or helped found Jameson Money Farmer. Correct? He was the original founder.
It's got his name in it.
It's got his name in it. And he is the current chair or the incoming chair. Incoming chair of the Chamber of Commerce this year. So he's on the hook to be in our video, basically.
He has to be in it.
But he was up for it, and he studied Doc Brown and to mimic him as best as possible, and I think it turned out pretty well. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here's something that I'm gonna let you in on. Other people, you know, at the end of the day, this is a time-constricted video. I always like the saying, done is better than perfect. Here's why this is not perfect. I can actually see the Chamber of Commerce logo on the other side of this glass, but this shot is so quick, it's handheld.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where it's like, you know what, we just got to get it done, keep moving. So there's a little Easter egg for y'all. That shot right there does have the chamber.
And there's another one down here, actually.
Yeah.
But it's so quick and shaky handheld. There's one right there, too. West Alabama Works.
Yeah.
So
it was like, this shot, everyone's looking at Carl. They're not looking over here, and we didn't have time to do it, so we didn't do it.
Let's let the conflict sit up now.
Yeah.
Marty, you have to come back with me.
My name is Kyle.
Right, sorry, I got carried away. Quick, put this on.
So you can see now he had to track it in, as we're about to see.
Okay, so this was interesting. So this shot is very handheld. I'm running backward with the camera. By the way, Nick produced and wrote most of this video, so, and then I came in and helped direct it and did a lot of the effects and things like that.
Yeah.
So we had to track in to remove the text on that top part, and I had to track in the Regions logo. Again, I did all that with M-Tracker Surface for motionvfx.com, and had to add like motion blur, and then we also had to rotoscope in front of them, so you'll see as the shot plays out, they run in front of the logo and everything, and it, I mean, in my opinion, looks really good. It looks like it's sticking to the window.
And for gear nerds, let's just go ahead and throw out everything that we used for this, because it's not a crazy amount. We used a Red Gemini.
Yeah.
We used Zeiss CP2 lenses for most of it. We also used Canon 70-200 version 2 for some stuff. We used the Mavic 3 Pro Cine for the drone shots, and we used Komodo for the 2-shot in the car, which you'll see in a minute.
Audio, we used just some really standard Sony Lavs. I don't even remember which ones they are, UWP or something.
And the Zoom F8N Pro, which was super
audio
helpful.
bag. Yeah.
Like it crushed this. So, and Dawson ran audio for most of the shoot, so it turned out really well. So let's let it play out.
All right, so a lot of shake, a lot of roto right there in front of it. It's still sticking. I mean, M-Tracker Surface did a great job, so that was nice. Yeah, so here you can let it play out, but there's a good bit of shake in there. All of that is intentional camera work because we're wanting to really like get people invested in like, oh, this is a problem. So all right, on this next shot, if you want to just let it play, this shot is on sticks, static. Okay, pause or go back for me just a little bit. So all of this flare stuff was once again from motionvfx.com, and that is M-Flare 2. So all I did was I tracked the flares onto the front of the car, and then I did keyframes on the brightness so that it looks like it's going up and down. It's illuminating, getting darker, and we're sparking.
These flares are incredible. I mean,
yeah, the flares are awesome.
I mean, the bloom and what it does when it explodes in a second, which I'm gonna go ahead and go towards, like that just looks insane. That's something they didn't have the benefit of. It's funny, rewatching the movie now, you're like...
Our effects are better than some of their effects.
Not all of them, but some.
Not all of them, but some of them.
So anyway, let's watch the jump in its totality again.
Sure.
That's pretty awesome.
Nice. Alrighty. This is the only thing I really struggled with getting the flames how I wanted. And so I was actually able to find a stock video clip with these flames. However, they were not set at that perspective. The flames were coming in straight at you. And so I had to do a lot of work to shift camera angles, change perspectives, but still make it look as though those flames are going off to the left side, when in reality, like I said, they were coming directly at the camera. And then underneath it was a motion VFX tool. I can't exactly remember, but I used that to do the wipe on. There's some smoke compositing elements that I got from motion VFX, and then the tires here were another motion VFX thing. The flames, while they could have looked a little bit more realistic, we actually chose this specifically because these are almost one-to-one identical with how the flames look in the movie. And because I was able to find it, it was just so much easier to just use that instead of building it by ourselves.
And much safer than doing our backup option, which would be
set the road on fire.
One other quick note I want to say is this was a challenge in producing for 2 different reasons. One, these people are donating their time to this video, so that's a challenge. Other challenge, bigger challenge, using the DeLorean is very expensive. And we had to figure out a way to film a lot of this without the actors actually there. So we shot this, I believe, on the second day when we filmed the other stuff. But some of the stuff later that we'll show you, there are shots that are comped together to save time and save money with the car. So,
and there's Nick's title.
I actually managed to use After Effects, which everybody has a love-hate relationship with, but I got a free template online and was able to kind of edit it to make it a little bit better and make it look as close to the movie as we possibly could. It's still a little off, but close enough for these purposes.
Close enough. Done is better than perfect.
All right.
Keep going.
The best part.
All right, here we go. So, pause. So, these shots, I really went back and forth with if I wanted to do this, and I decided, you know what? These are tools for filmmakers. So, we did use some AI to generate some content. However, we came at it from a blended approach.
Yes.
So instead of just pure AI, this is what we want, let it spit it out, we actually went and filmed this shot, and then I fed that shot into the AI model that we used, and I said, change my shot and make the cars look like they're from the 1980s, make the people look like they're dressed in the 1980s. It did a few funky things, it added some weird text and stuff, but overall, any of the shots that you see are actual shots that we went and filmed with our camera, and then we used those AI models to just overlay what we wanted, and only did it on some. On the other ones, we actually filmed it.
And we tested very extensively on shutter speed, stuff like that. So I don't even remember what we landed on, but we drove around Tuscaloosa for a while out the window of a car to get the perspective right, because that's the thing that these were struggling on, was the perspective. But if you were to feed it into it, it really works very well. You can see it's not perfect. Over here, there's a guy walking in the road, like this person's leg. Full speed again here in just a second.
When it goes fast, yeah, when you just see it quickly, like, you have no clue.
And we cheated as well. We interjected real shots that we did take with real people, and it
makes it feel like it's there
with good color.
Yeah, so we've got that, and then that's a real shot, and then there you go, one we fed, that's a real shot, that's a real shot, and these are real shots. So there, we only used 2 shots that we enhanced with AI. Once again, M-Flare 2 right there on the front.
Yeah, we figured out arrivals were a lot easier.
Yeah, arrivals are definitely.
And mixing 2 shots, so this is pretty amazing. This is from our drone with 3 lenses, like, kind of insane that drones have 3 lenses these days, but anyway.
Nice tight top-down shot.
Better question.
All right, my favorite stuff. Let's keep going a little bit because there's actually one that shows it a little bit better. So, we'll pause it right here. You can pause it right here. All right, so there, we're gonna talk about green screen in a second, but you'll notice there's reflections on the glass as they're driving. They were just sitting still. All of those reflections were added in post. I did just a mask on there and messed with blend modes. I took a shot where we're just kind of looking straight up, going down, like, and you see the buildings and the city skyline and things like that. And then I inverted it. I added a ton of blur, lowered the opacity, and I actually added a very slight fisheye effect, kind of a bulb lens to make it look as though it's wrapping around that windshield. This windshield isn't curved all that much because it's a DeLorean, but it's just enough to make it look like the perspective of those things coming by.
All of that's not there.
All of it's fake.
And you added a camera shake too.
Yeah, it just added a camera shake because it was all shot on tripod. But yeah, you can see those reflections driving by.
I love 1984.
Keep going, that's fine.
I've already tried.
Okay, so here's one. Again, this is an exact shot that we did from the drone. And then we fed it in there and we said just change everything to make it look like it's in the 1980s. It distressed the top of this building. It added some 80s model vehicles. These light posts and the stoplights and all that stuff have a more retro 80s vibe to it.
This one turned out pretty well.
That one turned out really good.
Starting with its roots in the
All right, pause this. So this one is one of my favorite sequences with him looking out the window. So once again, we took this exact shot, fed it into our AI model, and then said we need to make this appear with a 1980s vibe.
And what he means is the perspective we shot out the car, not this.
Yeah, so Nick and Dawson drove by. They had their camera sticking out the window because right now, Kyle, our actor, and the DeLorean, they're just sitting in our parking lot. There's a green screen behind them. So all of this is keyed out. And then all of this, the original shot is all super sharp and in focus. So I added a depth of field blur behind them to key it out. And then I also added something to make it look like some distressed kind of glass looking through. Obviously, real glass would not look like that, but when you're driving by, the refraction of light makes it appear as though it is.
I think you want to talk about the cars pointing out the alley.
Oh yeah, like little things, like when we drove by, because this is a real place, we're driving by, that is the road that they're driving by for a real shot. So this is a real shot that we then overlaid, and then there's that same shot, so there's that road. So as you can see, it looks like we're really in that area. He's passing that road right there that you just saw. So
you can see there's a parked car right there.
Yeah, there's a dark car. There's some green trees on that side. There's our car. So we were able to really sell this pretty well, in my opinion.
Commercial club founded in June.
Yeah, he's just kind of looking out the window.
Present, where
there
we
you
are
go.
now.
Back to
You
the
mean
shot.
the past?
Again,
That looks incredible.
Yeah, still we're just driving by. We fed it some options. The good thing too is when you feed it this video, you can get a bunch of different takes out of the same perspective, and it's gonna give you some variation, so it looks like we're in different areas as we're driving.
The past.
Oh yeah, some shadows. I also added a bunch of shadows to make it look like they're driving. So as his jacket gets brighter and darker, things like that.
So they're about to drive by. So this is probably the most interesting part, I think, is so we show these shots of it happening.
All that's real. We shot all that.
So this shot is a comp, if you want to talk about that. But
Sure.
We had to shoot this in 2 different days. We got very lucky that it was cloudy both days.
Yeah.
That was just happenstance.
That would have been bad. So for this shot, if you want to push your arrows a little bit more, yeah, that's fine, just right there. This shot of the building, of the old Bronco, of the whatever that car is that was back here, I think it was a Corvette. They're all dressed in 80s, all of this. This is a single day. And then the car is on the next day. We had to take images and photos and remember where our tripod was, at what height was it, what was our lens that we were using, if you want to talk a little bit about that and why that's important.
Well, yeah, so I mean, the perspective has to stay the same. So even like a 1/4 inch could throw this whole thing off.
Right.
I mean, you could probably maybe fix it, but it's really important to match it so that way the next day when we come back and we have it all written down, it's like we're shooting it at the same time, and then a simple roto or mask would make it work, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah. So again, this car is not driving past these people or these vehicles. This car is driving past an empty building. And then if you want to just use your arrows and just kind of forward, and this is all just rotoed out, and you would never know. We got the same shot looking out the window. So then as we drive by, if you want to just hit play.
So we literally drove by them.
And then we keyed that in to make it look like they're driving past them. Yeah. So there you go, really nice.
And we got a couple filler shots
other
here
significant moments
just to
in the timeline
give it a
and
little
ensure
bit
that it
more
goes properly.
texture.
Do you want to talk about the sound design?
Yeah, the sound designs, because we did get some effects from the movie, but we also had to recreate a lot. So there's footsteps that we did on our own. I mean, this is all out.
all the electricity static shot.
Yeah.
As we go into time and back out of time and all that stuff, that was all hand done. Oh, there's a lot of my mouth or some sound effects where I'm like, you know, making noises in the microphone
And it just
stuff like
worked.
that. Yeah, it works well.
So this one's cool. So
Yeah, you talk about this.
yeah, so this one's funny because we actually realized we made a mistake late in this and we changed it before we recorded this video. But this is set in 1984, and you can see that this is Bryant Denny, and we kind of made it look like Bryant Denny was. There's not a lot of great images, especially from this perspective. So you can see there's no upper deck there where there would be currently, or end zone. But we're going forward to 1998 when there was the next stadium expansion. So we did a time jump out here where the guy literally just drove fast and slowed down out in this empty parking lot. And there were like cars over here. My favorite part of this shot is there's a building that is actually here in present day that I removed for this shot. So, I mean, it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, and then boom, there it goes. And then the building is now there. As we did the time jump, we've got a truck. We're showing construction. This was a fun composition because there's no AI in this. This is all other than, you know, we removing of the top decks and stuff like that. And like we added a truck, but these images of these videos of these cranes, this is a composition, some stock video, but these cranes were out filming and they're filming on a pure blue sky background. And so I just keyed the blue as if you would a green screen, reposition the cranes to make it look like they're working. So the cranes are moving and they look, you know, like
You can kind of tell.
yeah, they look like they're doing some work. I mean, they're moving really slow, but they're definitely moving. It's like they're doing work. And
We also added this back in, so it's like a hybrid situation. There's some trees that change, like stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's minimal changes compared to how we originally had it. We originally had it going to this from the present, and then we realized we messed it up.
But once again, we also had to rotoscope this.
Yeah.
Because this car and part of the road here is a real life, essentially a plate. It's just an image. It's just a photo. And then we've got the overlay of video on top of that photo. Add some film grain on top of it, makes it look like it's a video behind it. So.
Oh, I see where we are now.
And this, you just added a PNG, basically.
Yeah, it's the same photo, just yeah, it's the same background
in the
photo.
Bryant Denny expansion.
You know your history. Very good. Here we see the chamber partnered with the city of Tuscaloosa and the city of Northport to raise funds for the stadium expansion. A total of $4.6 million.
Some of
was
this
raised and an
video
additional
is
10,000
rather
seats
boring if
were
you're
added
not
to
from
the
this
upper deck,
area,
as well as
but a
81
lot of it,
skybox.
you know, a lot of this
All in
stuff
time
makes
for the
sense to people
1998
locally. They understand.
Roll Tide.
The chamber is just
Well,
talking
it
about
looks
what
like
they
construction's
did
all on
to
track now.
enhance and improve this area that we live in over, you know, a course of time.
Here's another jump. This one was a little more.
Another jump, yeah, this one is, I had to rush through this one a little bit. The flames aren't as good in my opinion. They're okay, but I had to track the flames in and I had to remove the car, so I had to track in part of the road without the car there so that the car would just disappear because that's a moving shot, so.
Here we are in the year 2011. At this point, the chamber
This
has
part was a
celebrated
tough
its 100th
part to
anniversary.
include in the script because it's very
This is just
sad.
after that,
So we,
27th.
had to be very delicate with that. I
Yeah,
think
that was a
that's
tough
always
time for
important in
Tuscaloosa.
scripting. Is you got to tell a story, but in a
Luckily, the chamber
in a
stepped
good
in
way,
2
so
days afterwards.
this
along
is
with the
about
city of
when they
Tuscaloosa
helped
to
after
create
the
the
tornado that
Tuscaloosa
happened to Tuscaloosa. in
So
2011.
we let the
I'm glad
story
we were
be
here to make a
told
difference.
through the blurry
Absolutely.
images on the background. That's how the story was told there, as opposed because there's, you know, some trees and stuff moving by where obviously a natural disaster has happened on the outside, but we're not really focusing on that. We're not zooming in on that because we want to be respectful of people that did have to deal with that situation.
On a more fun note, we did have them do a bunch of like pretend jumps in the car that helped us a lot. So they would like hit the back of their seat as if they just went to hit 88 miles an hour, and that's what we do right here. So you can see they go bang.
Yep, there we go. This one was pretty simple. This is the old chamber building. There were some logos and things up here that we had to remove. Again, this is a static shot, so it's pretty easy. And then just took a PNG of the chamber, changed the distortion and the perspective so that it would match up there on top.
And same thing in this next shot too.
So this is also a composite, correct?
Yes. Oh no, no, we actually shot this one.
Oh, we actually shot this one.
We had a backup composite plan, but we ended up having time to shoot it.
Okay, that's what it was.
Been so impactful for the 9 counties that we
All right,
serve.
there we go. I've
Along
just got
with the
that
innovative
video
things
when the
we're doing
car
with
had
drones
left.
work.
Well, wait a minute. Look
The
over
video
there.
is running on the background of that shot. So simple.
And now we're finally going to discover the cause of why the chamber building changed back to regions.
So the conflict is at its peak. We know what the conflict actually is now.
Over there.
Or we know what caused the conflict.
Donnie isn't there.
Donnie's asleep. Fun,
He
quick
must have
little
overslept.
shot.
Hold on, we have to get to his house and wake him up in time.
I love how he says wake him up.
Wake him, another drone
Really?
shot.
All right, you want to pause this for a second? So earlier there was a Pepsi bottle that we showed. Pepsi is a sponsor of this video for the annual meeting, as is Alabama One Credit Union. And so we very purposely had a and they went and filmed that out the window so that it could be nice and prominent there in one of the frames. And this again is at kind of the peak of the video, so we hope people are like really engaged and paying attention.
That was very difficult to get because of where it is on the road. So that was a fun one.
He just overslept.
Absolutely. He overslept, causing him to miss the launch of West
I love this
Alabama
two
Work,
shot, so-
which
Yeah,
would
the
then
two
have a
shot's
ripple
great.
effect across time, causing us to never open the West Alabama Community and Workforce Development Center. Luckily, we're here to wake him.
I'll go
Wake
get
him.
him.
I love how he says he.
Added sound effects. So this is fun. So he runs up to this house, and then this is a
Donnie,
different house.
That's not only is this a different house, this is a different day.
It's like a different. This is a different year.
This is a different. Oh, it's a different year.
Yeah,
We shot the
yeah.
other one in 2024. We shot this in 25.
like early, like
Go back to the one frame until So this is 2024. Hey, so we went like.
Oh, we went to the future.
We time changed.
We went to the future.
That's so funny.
This is December 17th, 2024. In case we ever. And then we ended up doing the next one like a month later almost.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, we just told him to wear the same thing. We have the jacket here in our gear closet.
It's actually funny.
And then
there's a wreath. So, yeah,
didn't notice
it's
it.
funny.
Oh well.
It doesn't matter.
But then it jumps and he's inside a different, inside the house. He's waking Donnie up.
What? What? If you don't go now, you're gonna be late.
Who are you?
You'll find out in a few years. Just go.
My meeting. Oh no.
Cool. Runs back out. Some more sound effects, sound design.
Did it, Carl? Great job. Let's head back.
One more jump, same thing. I used the same flames. This one was interesting because the flames are animated that I got from stock video. They're animated forward, and I had to make these animate in reverse, but you can't animate them in reverse because if you just rewind it, it just doesn't look
the
right.
wrong way.
So I ended up actually letting these be at full top flamage. And then I did a mask and keyframed a mask to start at the back and just push forward, and it gives it the same effect.
And if you're ever planning anything like this, like you always have to think about shooting this kind of stuff. Like it's not in the script; it just says time jump. But you gotta think, all right,
How am I gonna shoot that to make it?
Yeah. How is? I mean, it's almost like the best way to cheat it. Almost like, showing the car drive right at you is gonna be harder in some ways than this. So that's why in the first original shot we had it go by us, like stuff
Instead
like
of
that.
directly forward,
stuff like that when you're on like a budget like this is.
Yeah.
So.
How many days was this filming? 2 days?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, a day and a half, 2 days. So, well, 2.5, I guess,
Yeah,
technically.
yeah.
2.5 days of filming for all this. But as you can see now, the chamber is back. The chamber logo, the text, it was always there. We just had removed it. All of this was shot in that same time frame as the beginning of the video. So you also have to think about like the best use of your time. So these shots that we see here were shot at in the same time frame as when Carl and Kyle, whoa, look at this car and all this stuff. So it's almost the very beginning of the video. It's the very beginning when Carl shows up, and the end of the video all shot within the same, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. And this is a very simple sequence. They just kind of have a conversation.
Well, look at
I like some
that.
of the angles we
Chamber
got.
building
I like
is
this
back
angle.
to
a
Yeah,
lot.
we had to get this angle. We had to tell him, hey, scoot over a little bit. Can't see your face. He kept getting hidden back there.
But it also, this really, it's like
Right.
the chamber is.
The chamber is back.
Precisely.
I like this
All
angle
is right
too.
in
I like this. I like the lighting. The lighting
Yeah.
looks great on his face.
Well, does that mean we still won Chamber of the Year in 2021?
They are not professional
Absolutely.
actors,
And that was
but I
in
think they
large
did a
part
really good
due to our
job
small
considering.
business relief fund
considering
during
everything.
COVID.
Well, I've got to get back to work. Where are you off to?
Back to the future. Check out how our future plans turned out.
Outgoing chairman, so we wanted to incorporate him and bring him in. And it's funny because at the very end, Carl says, "I can't believe you made me do this," because
Yeah.
Gio's like, "Hey, well, you're gonna do it. You're the incoming chair."
That was all Carl. He ad-libbed that.
Future is what you make of.
What's your next stop, Carl?
Gio, we're headed to the future. See how the renovations to this building come out.
Heck yeah, let's go.
Great God, Gio, I can't believe you made me do this.
Great Scott, so good. All right, and then we do one more final jump. It's the same kind of thing. Goes out, same flamage. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
We've successfully gone over. So I would say this is one of the more intense videos that we have had to do in a while in regard to visual effects and things like that. All of it was done in Final Cut Pro. So that's one thing that, like, people that are watching this will understand. Other than the title, nothing was done in motion, nothing was done in After Effects, anything. It was all done in Final Cut Pro with
A few AI tools.
with the help
Yeah.
of some of the newer AI tools that have come out. But got that stuff,
Yeah.
and then just had to overlay it. But it was
A lot
awesome.
of motion VFX, a lot of good stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel like it turned out pretty well. We're as of recording this, we haven't seen the reaction to it yet.
Right.
So we're very excited for that.
Yeah.
It airs in 2 days.
Considering how quickly we did it, what the budget was, I'm really proud of this video. I'm gonna say it until the day I die. Done is better than perfect. You as a video person, if you're watching this, you can look back at videos and you are going to find all kinds of mistakes. I wish I would have fixed that. I wish I would have fixed that. I wish I would have fixed that. But look, time is money. This is a time-related video, so it's kind of funny. But at the end of the day, like, you gotta get it done. You have to finish it. Finish it. As long as it's doing its intended purpose, that is what matters. The purpose of this video is to make people laugh, get them engaged for the evening, let them know that they're gonna have a good time at this meeting, and tell some of the story of what the chamber has done now, and I think that video does that.
And they're going to use it for some other stuff as well, so to show like the history of the chamber as well. So it's twofold, which is kind of different than something that we've done before. So that's cool. So I feel good about it.
All right, so if you like this video, if you made it all the way to the end, you are a rock star, because I know it was long. We would love to do more of these. We love to break down some of the work we do here at Seed Creative. We are a video production company that does videos like this. We do, really boring, just like educational content. We do commercials, documentaries. We do a lot of stuff, and we think that breaking down these videos is a lot of fun. So if you enjoy it, definitely subscribe, but definitely comment and tell us what you like about it, what you don't like about it, if there's anything that you would like to see, and we'll consider carving out the time to do it.
And we challenge you to beat our Back to the Future video.
Yeah, go do a better job than us, and then tell us.
And then we'll do.
Sorry, Dawson's telling me not to do this. Sorry, I'm gonna just keep doing it.
Dawson's probably really bored because we. Anytime.
And he gets to edit this one.
Yeah, he does. He did.
Everyone spam the comments with "Get her done, Dawson."
And remember to thank the bus driver. All right, that's it. See you later.
See ya.
See Creative. Bye.